Hi! I just finished a game of Worlds Without Number. UA just dropped, so we're gonna immediately take a look at it. Welcome to Back Tactics, where look, Hexblade. So 2 UAs ago, in the Horror UA, whoever made the subclass basically made every feature have something to do with Hex. If you didn't cast Hex, you didn't have any subclass features. It was pretty bad. Let's see if it's improved. But first, new Hexblade spells. The changes here compared to the previous UA is they lost Magic Weapon, and Dispel Magic sadly got swapped out to Bestow Curse. I understand why they did that though. That should absolutely be there. This is still an incredible list. I'm still in love with Conjure Barrage. Look at that! Hexblade's Curse, you're back. They tried to replace you. Wait, you're a little bit weirdly written. So from my understanding, there's 2 ways to cast this. There's the normal bonus action way. Casting it that way has a range of 30 feet, and it lasts for 1 minute. Or alternatively, you can combine it into a curse spell and cast it from there. And it will use the range and the duration of the spell. This is a long rest feature, which you can use a number of times equal to your charisma mod. It does 2 things. When the target reaches 0 HP, you regain 1d8 charisma mod HP, and it gives you +2 AC while you are within 10 feet of the cursed creature, and you aren't wearing armor or a shield. It sucks. There's multiple uses though, and it's easier to apply. But dang it, give me medium armor and shield proficiency. Don't force me to be naked with mage armor and be within 10 feet of the cursed creature. Are you crazy? I don't have AC protection against them. Medium armor and shield proficiency is more aligned to the original inspiration. This subclass was originally inspired by Elric of Malnabone, which is a fantastic series from the 60s. Black Razor in the flavor text here is literally Stormbringer. Now sure, armor's not the concept. The sentient weapons that hunger for souls or blood or whatever is. That's the direction I want them to go. But it's never gonna happen. But it would be super cool if the sentient weapons functioned kinda like Dragon Wrath weapons. I think that's what people want. That's what I want. A fun magic item that talks to you and improves as you level. It doesn't have to be evil or anything, but I think most people would want it to be evil. Why can't they just keep the old curse feature and increase the number of uses? Well, knowing wizards, it's probably the crit increase. That's what they're afraid of, even though it's a 0 point something DPR increase. They've always thought crits are broken, but anyways, we gotta move on. Unyielding Will. When you make a save to maintain concentration, each creature in a 10-foot emanation takes 2d6 necrotic damage. You can only do this once per round. That's an automatic 7 average damage. Small AoE, but that's not all. When you fail a save to maintain concentration, you can choose to succeed instead, and you gain temp HP equal to 1d10 plus your warlock level. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. They should have written, once you use this feature in this way. But anyways, when you do use the autosave, it will shut you out of the entire feature, meaning you can't use the emanation anymore. I wouldn't say that's bad at all. If you're concentrating on that important hypnotic pattern that shut down like 5 enemies, then this is S tier, you know? That's a really good deal. Screw the emanation. You gotta reset up concentration again anyways. Unfortunately at this level though, your concentration spells aren't really that important. Well, besides like Phantasmal Force for single target shutdown. But back to the emanation. Even though it's automatic 10-foot AoE damage, it's not that good because you need to take damage to roll concentration. I'm happy this doesn't take a reaction, and I'm sure you can make it really powerful with a cleric with Spirit Guardians, for example. But the DPR is incredibly low. It's not actually 7. The higher your AC is, the lower the DPR is. But hey, at least you have a legendary resistance for your concentration. I feel like the person who wrote this knew this, so that's why he added an extra bonus. To optimize, Blade Ward is absolutely mandatory with this feature because it's a concentration cantrip that lasts for 1 minute, and it gives you 1d4 AC against an attack. Just spam it everywhere you go, it's super easy. Level 6, Malign Brutality. You gain the following benefits. Harrowing Hex. After you cast a leveled spell that has an action cast, you can make 1 weapon attack as a bonus action. Nice, that's going to be useful with Conjure Barrage. Hindering Curse gives you a bonus to Hexblade's Curse. When you hit a creature with the curse, the target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn. Okay, set up for other casters. And lastly, Inescapable Hex, another bonus to the curse. When the curse target ends his turn 30 feet or further from you, you can move up to your speed straight towards the target. This is mainly used for getting into melee, but you can also curse your friends and they can drag you away. Be warned though, this movement triggers opportunity attacks, so it's not that good. Level 10, Armor of Hexes. When you take damage from the target you curse with Hexblade's Curse, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage taken by the amount equal to your Warlock level. At least it's not making me concentrate. I much prefer this. Capstone, Masterful Hex. You gain the following benefits. All of them have something to do with Hexblade's Curse. First up is Accursed Crits, and there it is. Kobold, you were right! Yeah, I know how the wizards think. Well, I've already talked about it, it's barely anything. Next is Explosive Hex. When you deal damage to the cursed target, you can cause the curse to explode on them in a 30-foot emanation. The target and each creature of your choice takes 3d6 necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage. Your choice, and everyone's speed is reduced to 10 until the start of your next turn. You can only do this once per long rest unless you expend a spell slot. This is 0.3 average damage behind 3rd level Spirit Guardians, but 30-foot emanation is massive, and the control is also really good to combo with. This is good with any blast spell like Hypnotic Static. Everything here is automatic. Hex Restoration lets you regain 1 curse when you finish a short rest, or use your Magical Cunning feature. This is extremely late, but it will absolutely help with Explosive Hex immensely. I like this more than the previous version because it's not making me concentrate on Hex. And I enjoy the AoEs a lot, but I don't think that's what Hexblade should be. Hexblade should be Elric of Malnabone. Well, he's actually broken. What I'm saying is this should be sword and sorcery. By the way, fuck you, it's the fuck me dice. Only Crit started another fucking dice project with 15 new dice sets. And they all say fuck on natural 20s and natural 1s. That's not true. There's also standard ones that say yeet, hero, and 0 in case you don't like the fuck word. But most people like fucking. They think it's funny and making people laugh is optimal. These aren't plain dice either, as you can see. They've got fancy designs and eyeballs and stuff in them too. And there's so many different kinds. By the way, to help you power game, right now, Only Crits are giving away 3 to 8 piece dice sets to celebrate the Kickstarter success. Right now, barely anybody has entered the lottery, so you have a very good chance of winning right now. Anyone can sign up for this. So if you're short on money and want some cool new dice, just enter the lottery. Other than that, check out the Fuck Me dice on Kickstarter. Get some cool new dice sets that will make your friends chuckle. Link in the description. Now let's move on to Cleric. I'm gonna jump all over the place to whatever I feel like. The old 2014 Arcana Cleric is bad, but they got the best capstone out of all the clerics where they could get wish and stuff. Basically, you could pick 4 of the best spells from the wizard spell list. Let's see if it's stronger. First, domain spells. Yeah, I already see the changes. Counterspell and Bigby's Hand are the changes. What they got before was Dispel Magic and Planar Binding, which are both good spells. Planar Binding is one of the best spells in the game, but the problem is, any cleric can pick these up anyway, so they don't stand out on the list. We want standouts. Counterspell and Bigby's are off the list. They stand out. That's why they're really good. Next, Arcane Initiate. You gain proficiency in Arcana and expertise in it. Best skill in the game. And you learn 2 wizard cantrips of your choice. Whenever you gain a cleric level, you can replace them. Nice, you can get Ray of Frost and Blade Ward. The other 3rd level feature is called Modify Magic. You can use your Channel Divinity to alter your spells. No action required. You can give one target of the spell temp HP equal to 2d8 plus your cleric level. Or when a creature is forced to make a save, you can choose one target of the spell to roll 1d6 and apply the number rolled as a penalty to their save. It's a little bit weirdly written again. It went from creature to target. But anyways, you gain a Channel Divinity on a short rest, so you'll use this all the time. The temp HP is actually more appealing to me than the penalty to the save, because before you take a short rest, you can just cast Guidance on someone and use Channel Divinity to give them temp HP, and then short rest and get the Channel Divinity back. This is like 12 temp HP on average at this level, which is amazing. And it gets a little bit better and better as you progress. Once I get Spirit Guardians, I don't really care if the enemies beat my save or not, because half damage does majority of the work in damage math-wise. I made a video about it. I feel like I say this every 2 months. Anyways, level 6, Dispelling Recovery. Immediately after you cast a spell with a spell slot that restores HP, or ends a condition, you can cast Dispel Magic on a creature as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. You can do this a number of times equal to your Wisdom mod, and you regain on a long rest. You see this part here? All of this is one sentence. My brain automatically thought if I cast Aura Vitality, then use this feature, then it's free together with Dispel Magic. But what I really think they mean is after X occurs, you do Y without expending a spell slot. That's what I'm going with. I don't feel like getting yelled at. It's okay, it won't come up very often. And sadly, the spell only works on one creature at a time, even if it's an AoE heal. But if you do need it, you really need it. The capstone is exactly the same as the old version. The king still lives on. But when you level in Cleric, you can replace one of these wizard spells with another one. But it has to be the same level. I'm very happy they kept this. Arcana Cleric is so much more playable now. It's average though, and then at endgame it gets insane. But whatever, like, I'm fine with that. The 6th level feature still needs work though. It needs to be written differently. Let's look at a martial. Arcane Archer. I don't remember anything in Xanathar's. I just remember it sucked. First up is Arcane Archer lore. You know, either Druidcraft or Prestidigitation cantrip. And you get proficiency in Arcana and Nature skills. If you have them, you pick different skills of your choice. Good. Arcane Shots. You learn 2 Arcane Shots. Choose from the Arcane Shot options. You learn more as you progress and you learn new ones. You can replace one option you know with a different one if you wish. Using Arcane Shot is once per turn when you make a ranged attack using a weapon with ammunition property. You can decide to use it when you hit a creature and deal damage to it, unless the option doesn't involve an attack roll. Your Arcane Shot is currently D6, and your DC is Intelligence. You can do this shot a number of times equal to your intelligence mod. It's a short rest resource. It really sucks that this is still intelligence based rather than dexterity. I understand why, but it's a problem. Most people have 3 shots and then need to take a short rest, which isn't a lot. And these are not long lasting effects either. And not only are you feat starved, but you're also multiple ability score dependent. So you're already in trouble. You still only have 8 options, and they're the same as the old version, except they do more damage. Enfeebling is the only one that got a proper change, but it's still not good. It still sucks. At level 10 and up, features are just improving damage-wise. I'll talk about that later. As for the 7th level feature, Curving Shot lets you target a different creature as a bonus action if you miss an attack roll. It does split damage, sadly, instead of focus fire. But this is better in 2024, so I'll take it. It's a bigger DPR increase. The other 7th level feature is Ever Ready Shots. When you roll initiative and have no uses of arcane shots, you regain 1 charge. I recommend blowing everything. As for the rest of the features here, I like damage increases. Those are good, but they should also be proper features as well. We need things to chew on as we progress, For example, more uses. And maybe the once per turn usage is removed at capstone or wherever. But I think what people actually want is just more options. Let's move on to Ancestral Sorcerer. I have 0 interest in Monk. I don't know why, but the first thing I thought about was the Nervarine when I read this. I'm a huge fan of Morrowind, by the way. Anyway, spell list. You get a lot of spells, and a lot of them are really good. Command, Guidance, Locate Objects, Protection from Evil and Good, Resistance, Divination, and Legend Lore are spells I want. Spirit Guardians is the biggest standout here, but you need to secure your defenses in order to make this good. I recommend you multiclass for medium armor and shield proficiency. You could do that with a cleric dip. Ancestors Lore gives you a charisma bonus to your intelligence check, and you get proficiency in one of these skills. Arcana is an auto pick if you don't have it. The other third level feature is Visage of the Ancestors. While your innate sorcery is active, you have advantage on any ability check as part of the influence action. It's diplomacy. I think they give you this because they gave you so many spells. Level 6, you always have counterspell and dispel magic prepared. That's even more spells. You have the most spells out of all the sorcerers in the game. And while your innate sorcery is active, you can cast each of these spells for free once. When you do, the counterspell gives disadvantage to its save, and Dispel Magic has advantage. That makes counterspell good, but I wish it always gave disadvantage to the creature whenever I cast counterspell. But whatever, I have Spirit Guardians. Level 14, when the innate sorcery is active, you have a 5-foot emanation. When creatures enter or ends its turn there, they make a charisma save. On a fail, they are forced prone, and they are frightened until the end of your next turn. It's once per turn. That's right! Kneel before me, peasant, and cower in fear. I am the dragon of this encounter. I love it. It makes me feel really powerful even though it's not that good. I think this is perfect because the other feature is the actual insane feature. Steady spellcasting. Taking damage doesn't break your concentration on any sorcerer spell. Hell yeah! If you grabbed Warcaster, then it will become a dead feat. But it's still a good pick because you have to progress like 10 levels to get this feature anyways. This is a 10 out of 10 feature. Capstone, while innate sorcery is active, you gain advantage against spells. Once during your use of your innate sorcery, you can choose to automatically succeed against a spell. Legendary resistance against a spell and having advantage is fantastic. Spellcasters are super scary at this level, so I'll cling to this for dear life. This subclass is pretty good, but I'm not sold on the concept really. I would lean more into incarnation rather than ancestry. There's already reincarnation in the game like Curse of Strahd, so there you go. I think that's way cooler. Necromancer, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Just watch as Tashish ruins necromancy. I really don't like her spells. Not only does she give you bad service, but she also charges you money for it. Necromancy spellbook, you gain resistance to necrotic, and when you cast a necromancy spell using a spell slot, choose yourself or a creature you can see within 30 feet to give them temp HP equal to the level of the spell slot, plus your int mod. It's too weak because the necromancy spells suck. Let's get to the exciting parts, level 6. First up, Grave Power. When you use Arcane Recovery, your exhaustion level decreases by 1. This is S tier for crafting scrolls or magic items all night while adventuring. That means more resources and power. You also get Overwhelming Necrosis. Damage from your wizard spells and wizard features ignore necrotic. I find that very whelming. Here we go. Undead. She did it again! And you still need to pay 300 gold for the component! So you get a free cast of Summon Undead, and you have the option to regain half the HP of the summon if you cast it for free. It's 15 HP if you pick Ghost or Putrid, which is decent, but man, this really sucks. I still need to concentrate on it, even if I cast it as a free cast. I wanted them to do something with Animate Dead or just not touch it at all. Old Necromancer was amazing. You felt like a Necromancer. Here I feel like a goth kid. Or should I say Shadow Sorcerer, because they basically get the same feature. Listen, I don't care what Redditors think about Animate Dead. It's not my fault they can't take the attack action. I want to create an army. I'm a Necromancer. I want to feel like a Necromancer, not a Shadow Sorcerer. Anyways, luckily for us, Undead Spirit is one of the better Tasha summons that you can combo with. Putrid can paralyze when a target has the poison condition. You can cast Ray of Sickness for that setup, but the condition only lasts until the end of your next turn. So that Undead better hit. Keep in mind, you also need to hit. At least you get some temp HP you can give to your undead or whoever. Next, Undead Secrets. Nice. This is kinda written like a rest cast. When you finish a long rest, you can cast a special death ward on yourself using a 4th level slot or higher. It lasts all day. When it triggers, you get HP equal to 10 times the spell slot expended. In addition, when you take damage while bloodied, you can take a reaction to teleport up to 60 feet, and each creature within 10 feet of the space you left, take 2d10 necrotic damage. Both are very good defenses to have. But I don't know what teleporting has to do with necromancy. But anyways, that no save damage there is more damage than 3rd level Spirit Guardians on average. And it doesn't cost a resource. You just need to be bloodied, which is dangerous, but if it triggers, it triggers. Be warned though, if you're using a reaction on this, then you can't cast shield or absorb elements afterwards. If the enemies have good range, you still might be in trouble. Capstone. In 2014, this capstone was insanely broken. But it was a lot of fun because you actively went after the dead to get something good. You're capturing them like a Pokemon. It was super interesting, and now it's something very boring. It's so boring that I don't even feel like reading it. It would be good if I had an army, but you didn't exactly help me with that. 2014 Necromancer, even though it was broken, and absolutely deserves a nerf, at least it was interesting and nothing played like it. It was one of the most unique subclasses in the entire game. Now it's just another undead-themed subclass. It doesn't even feel like a Necromancer! I've played so much D&D now that I don't care about balance anymore. I care about fun, and this is not fun. Let's look at something that will cheer me up. Conjurer. I've DM'd for a ton of them, and every single time it's been a nightmare to deal with. My community loves this subclass, and I do too, but that stupid minor conjuration needs to go. It's so dumb and abusive, and it looks like Wizards of the Coast agrees with me. Thank Tiamat. Benign Transformation is now a 3rd level feature rather than 6th. The only change in the description is they made it more expensive. At level 3, this and Conjure Savant are the only features you get, and this still is an action to cast, rather than a bonus action. That really sucks. At level 6, you get Distant Transposition. It boosts Benign to have 60-foot range, and turns it into a short rest feature. That's a far teleport, and you get it back on a short rest. It's pretty powerful. I can teleport 60 feet and move 30 feet away. And then maybe Misty Step. I think that's what they want you to do. They want you to combo it with Misty Step. But they should also give me the option to use action or bonus action. Anyways, the other 6th level feature you get is Durable Summons. Conjuration summons gain temp HP equal to twice your wizard level. Next level, I can summon Greater Demon. I can plop that down behind enemy lines and run for the hills. Maybe Benign and teleport away. Funny memes. You used to get this at Capstone. 10th level feature is the same as the old. It's incredible. The Capstone is new and very disappointing. It turns your Benign into bonus action use, but like, why is this in the Capstone? And you can use a reaction when you see a creature make an attack against you, and you can swap places and blah, 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 blah. We've seen this before. I stopped caring about Benign. I care about my summons. Boost my summons even more. Or you can give me a use of Scatter for free, I wouldn't mind that. It needs to feel like a capstone, you know? Right now, the 10th level feature feels like the actual capstone. Now for Transmuter. 2014 version was the weakest wizard in the game, but it had these interesting stones, which are very kobold-like. Kobolds really love stones. Speaking of stones, Christmas came early. You get the stones early. It's the same as the old version, I love how it works. You also get Savant, and of course, Wondrous Enhancement. You always have enhanced ability prepared, and you can cast it for free once. Regain on a long rest. It will also give targets advantage on saving throws using the chosen ability. That advantage would be really good if they removed the concentration. Next is Split Transmutation. When you cast a transmutation spell that has an upcast that can target more creatures, you can cast the spell as if it was upcast by 1. You can do this a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. Regain on a long rest. It gives you fly as an example, which is fantastic advice. I would absolutely cast fly with a 4th level slot to give 3 of my friends fly. Spider Climb also comes to mind, which is a poor man's flight. This is awesome. I actually kinda want to play this now. Potent Stone lets you pick 2 stone options. I don't think this is good enough for level 10. I would like a new list of 4 options. Maybe an at-will polymorph, but it's up to CR2 creatures. I know that steps on the druid's toes a little bit, but this is transmutation. Land Druid steps on Wizard's toes and it's completely fine. And now for Capstone. The Panacea got nerfed. It no longer restores all your HP and cures you of basically everything. That sucks. It's not even as strong as the heal spell. Damn. I changed my mind. I don't really want to play this. I do like it more more than the old version, and it actually cheered me up. But it needs to be in the oven more. Next, Enchanter. I've always thought 2014 version was good. And surprisingly, a lot of people disagree with me due to higher level play. Which makes sense, but I didn't think the averages were that bad. And it's easy to tell who is immune to charm or not. First up, Enchanting Talker. You get proficiency in one of the communication skills, and you can add your intelligence to your charisma check. Alright, cool. You also get Savant, makes sense. Now for the proper feature, it's Vexing Movement. When you cast an enchantment spell using an action and a spell slot, you can disengage and dash as a bonus action. Intelligence number of times, long rest resource. Visually, this is funny in my head, but what does this have to do with enchantment? Optimally, you can make a very good argument why this is better than the old version, but the old version actually had something to do with enchantment, and it was unique and risky. You were hypnotizing them, and the cost was you also shut yourself down. I thought that was really cool. This feature just feels so random. Oh, you cast a spell and then you run away. Level 6, Reflecting Charm. Reaction. See a creature within 30 feet. Attack you to reduce the damage taken by half. And force the... Oh my god. This has nothing to do with enchantment again. I'm 6 levels in, and I don't feel like an enchanter. This is the only 6th level feature they get. They've completely lost the way. Where are they going? Give me something related to enchantments and charms. Let me take advantage of people. This is supposed to be an evil, messed up subclass. At least the 10th level feature is the same. And the capstone is Power Word Fortify. And when you cast it for free, you get advantage on saving throws. It's insanely good. But like, what the hell? Am I a cleric? Give me mass suggestion or something. Maybe I can bypass people who are immune to charm. I don't know, I want to mind control people. That's the point of this subclass. I can't even review this properly. I thought Necromancer was bad. At least Tasha's understood the concept. She gave me an undead summon where I can summon a ghost. What I really should be doing is raising the undead rather than summoning them, but it's close enough for me. Last subclass, we're gonna get some tattoos. And they're magical. They're not like Tasha's tattoos, by the way. That would be crazy if it was. Your tattoos uses your wisdom mod. And on a long rest, you can magically change a tattoo into something else. I wish the description made them sound cooler, like living animated tattoos to ramp up the fantasy. But whatever, here's the 3rd level options. You pick 2 animal tattoos. As you can see, they're pretty bad. I only like the horse, really, because of Longstrider. I can get the horsey on my belly. Concept-wise, with the living tattoo idea, chameleon is very interesting to me. I think it would be cool if your entire body was like a chameleon with the subclass. You would look super fucking ugly, but you fight ugly too. Level 6, Celestial. You pick 1 option. These are terrible. 2 key to cast Find Traps. The only thing you would detect is your own tattoo. You got scammed. Pick the invisibility one. I gotta say, it's weird that they make you cast it as verbal too. And that applies to all of them. Level 11, pick 1 nature tattoo. They all give you resistance and advantage on a saving throw for 1 minute for 3 key. I don't understand why they don't give you all of them. I don't actually have that many tattoos on my body. Well, whatever. I'm gonna pick Wave. I can make the horse wave on my belly. Level 17, every single feature's been bad. Screw this, I'm not reading this. Well, that's it. Now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food. Check out the Kobold and Gator dice. And fuck you, by the way. Check out the fuck you dice too. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.